town. Right out of my heart, going round, heard it all over. We got sunshine today. Finally. It feels like 2 months to be unbearable. Dealing with the struggle. You know what I mean? Reeling with the feeling. Great balls of fire. I know it's touching the screen. You know what I mean. Okay, so I'll go in and check to see, make sure it didn't do anything funky. Hold on. Voila. Okay. So it looks like it's working. I'm going to mount that to a book. Maybe don't even have to really mount it that. Maybe don't have to glue it down. Maybe just get some kind of rubber bands, because it falls over. It's on my covers, right? And so, I don't want to have you down there. So, did you catch my live stream last night? This is what I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so here's David Icke. And I was actually going to monitor myself. I wanted to monitor myself on this one. But here's David Icke on X. Okay? And let me read it to you. This is for educational purposes. Fair Use Act, Copyright Act of 1976. For fair use in education. So David Icke writes, and this was just, it says 2:08. So does that mean it was 2 hours ago? No. Yeah, it's like 2 hours ago or something. I don't know. I don't spend that much time on X. I just went in here real quick to see what David Icke is talking about, because somebody just made that video that I talked about last night. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So David Icke writes on X, and you can go in and check it yourself. Okay, deep state gopher. Okay, he calls people a gopher, right? Like, go for this or go for that. You know what a gopher is, right? It's like a squirrel. But he calls people like this, he names them gophers. These are people who the people who are behind the scenes, who have all the money. They ain't gonna let you know who they are. They tell these people what to do. So some people call them puppets, right? So anyway, this is what David Icke is saying about Orange Man. Okay? He says, deep state, gopher, Trump. So he's saying that Trump is a gopher for the deep state, which is a puppet. Okay? And so this is what he says. Deep state gopher Trump he's got something in parentheses, but I don't know. It's kind of goofy the way it looks. But anyway, I'm not going to read what's in parentheses, okay? It says, deep state gopher Trump imposes centralized control of AI to delete state regulations that would block AI dystopia. Now, dystopia, I don't know what the hell that means. I think it probably means like, all power, no democracy, what do they call that? Dictatorship or whatever. So he goes on to say that he's been telling you this, before he even took office. He told you he was going to do this. This is what David Icke is saying. Okay? And so, let me turn off the heater. So let me get rid of that so I can check myself, because I'm gonna be doing stuff on here. Oh, but I need to check this. I need to check my signal over here. Then I'll turn off the heater. Just checking my signal. Did I just grab my main phone? No. Okay, it looks like we've got crystal clear signal. Hello, Sophia. Thanks for leaving a comment. So it looks like it's working. So I just leave that right there. Okay. Let me see. Put that right there. Sorry about this, but you know, I can't go out there into the living room and do it because it's too cold. So I've got another holder, but it won't stand up. There it will. Okay. Good deal. Okay. So, did you catch my live stream last night? I told you about the stuff that was written in this book. It was written in this book in 1999 was when it first got printed. This is called The Biggest Secret by David Icke. And I've been telling everybody to go in and read chapter 16. Read the whole book, but read chapter 16 and you'll want to read the rest of the book after that. So I made a video last night, and I said that somebody had put a video out, and it's called, the title of the video is FBI Raids Island Where Billionaires Hunt Humans. Okay? And so I went in and I told you that David Icke has been saying this. He said it in this book. I said if you read it, you would think that he's out of his mind. But if you want to find out the document, the facts, the receipts, the proof, it's in the book. I don't have time to go in and find where it is. Okay? You can find it yourself. But he said this 25 years ago. And now somebody just put a video out about it. Okay? And so I did a little research, and it turns out that somebody made a movie about it. And that it's, it's fiction, right? But somebody made a movie. I wouldn't know because I haven't watched TV in 20 years. So I told the audience, I said, go in and let's see what these people are talking about, okay? Because I've been telling people to read the book. And so I said I was going to do a little research on it to find out exactly what the hell this is all about. So I did a little research right now. And it looks to me like somebody's hiding something. Okay? They're trying to spin the narrative that this is fiction. Okay? Somebody made a movie about it after David Icke exposed it. Okay? He exposed it in 1999. I don't know when they made the movie. But this thing that just came out on YouTube right now is it's brand new. You see what they're trying to do? And he exposed it. Somebody made a movie, and now they're trying to when he exposed it, this is non-fiction. Somebody made a movie saying that it's fiction. Their movie is based on fiction. Okay? When it's based, it exactly what is exposed in this book. Non-fiction. Okay? So, um, so I went online and I tried to find out what's going on and asked Google. But you know that AI and Google are biased. Okay? And they're hiding something. Because I said, I'm going to go and see on the internet, see what the hell's going on here. Because this is important. You can't be making videos like this. YouTube would take it down. It's bigger than that. And um, so I went on Google and you read the first thing it says up there. You think you're reading ABC or NBC or some credible, The Guardian or Politico or USA Today, somebody credible. You know who you're reading? Freaking Reddit, where anybody could write whatever the hell they want to. And this is the first thing that comes up. Don't you think there's somebody's trying to hide something on something this important? You can't be saying this stuff on YouTube without them taking it down. This is freaking organized propaganda. Okay? And mainstream media in disguise. And so check out the video and do your own research. Find out what the hell is going on. First of all, is this video based on fact or is this some kind of fiction? Because if it's based on fiction, they're being misleading. It's deceptive. So what the hell is this all about? Okay? The word is getting out and people are starting to read what's in here. And in chapter 16, you'll read the first and last names of these people. Okay? And I was paying attention to this thing that they say is in the air. And there's this one professor. He's from Rhode Island. And his name is something Loeb. I forget what his name is. But he's saying that this comet, they think is a comet, which is supposed to pass by Earth on the 19th of this month, which is only like 5 days away. Oh no, it's like, see, today's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, it's this week. And this professor says, oh, it's a spacecraft. It's not a comet, it's a spacecraft, because comets don't behave that way. And so I was saying, yeah, there's this professor and he's saying that it's a spacecraft. So I went in and I did some more research, and putting two and two together, and noticed that David Icke is not talking about this. So I'm like, you know what this is? This is the old okey doke. Okay? He's going to turn around when it gets here on the 19th, because they're saying it's going like this. It's going to be 93 million miles away from Earth. I think it's 93 million miles when it's passing by Earth. That's the closest to Earth it's going to be. Okay? And this guy is trying to imply that it's going to stop and do a 90 degrees and come to Earth, right? Or they're going to send a space shuttle. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? This is the old okey doke. On the 19th, when everybody's paying attention to this, they're going to say, oh, it was just a comet. And so everybody's going to think, extraterrestrials do not exist when it's the extraterrestrials who are doing this. They're on planet Earth. Okay? And they're like, I think there's intelligent beings out there when they're right here on Earth. They know there's intelligent beings out there. They know that there's freaking space travel going on. They know we're here. They don't want nothing to do with us. This place is freaking dysfunctional. Why would anybody want to come here? And and um so I think that's what it is. And so now they're saying that this thing is traveling, I think it's 150,000 miles per hour. Okay? And that is 40 miles per second. That's pretty fast. Okay? It'll get from where I'm at to Fresno in like 1.5 seconds, almost 2 seconds. 1001, 1002. That's how fast it's going. And so if it's moving that fast, it's going to be on fire, right? And this is their explanation. That's why they are lit up, because they're on fire from the friction moving so fast. And I see the comments. I'll check them out here in a minute. They're not moving. But show some love, put some hearts in the chat. Nobody ever puts hearts in the chat for old Barn. And so that's why you can see them streak through the sky, right? Because they're moving so fast. And so this comment, what they're telling us, we don't know because we don't have a freaking microscope. You know that the extraterrestrials are there with a freaking microscope and they're guarding it. They're not letting nobody see nothing. They're not stupid. They've been controlling this stuff since ancient Egypt, and probably even before ancient Egypt. So just try to think of 1,000 years more advanced. You see how fast technology is going right now. You don't think that if there was someone 1,000 years more advanced that they would be out there already? Rocket Man of America is going gung-ho on freaking doing space travel. Okay? So what they're telling us is that this comet is the third interstellar comet. Okay? The third interstellar object that we've seen, that we've observed. Who knows how many more there's been. But our technology, just now, we're able to see it because of our technology, the telescopes. Okay? And so what they're telling us, which I think the people who are telling us are extraterrestrials bullcrapping us, is that this comet has a tail, just like all other comets, but it also has a tail facing in front of it. There's a tail behind it and a tail going forward that defies gravity, right? Or physics. And to me, that would seem like it's a headlight, right? To see, because it's traveling at 150,000 miles per hour, it's got to have a very bright headlights, right? That can see, at least 1,000,000 miles in front of it. because if you're traveling at 150,000 miles per hour and um you have a you are the size of a small island, just think of a locomotive engine, a freight train. How long it takes for a train to stop, to slow down, if what they're telling us is true. Okay, they would have to have headlights that can see a million miles in front of it, which is exactly what this is. Okay, and so um because it's the size of a small island, I think it's something like, think of a cruise ship. Okay, it would be it would be the size of 140. I think I did the math on this. I don't know if it was 140 or 11,000, whatever. Cruise ships, it's huge. Okay, so it would take a long time for it to slow down. And so um who knows what the hell it really is. I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's extraterrestrials doing space travel. Right? They're out there doing, what do you think, what would you be doing if you had, a spacecraft that can travel through space? If we were 1,000 years in the future, okay? Just like Star Trek. So they're out there getting it on, right? And so today, because it's too bizarre, if you think about it, okay, how it came into the galaxy, spinning at exactly the correct place where it would miss the planets and not collide with anything. And so now they're saying that there is a meteor shower tonight. The biggest, best one that ever was, because unlike other meteor showers or something like this, the moon is not going to be out, so you'll be able to see the meteor shower very, very well. And this meteor shower, you'll be able to see one streaking through the sky, 120 of them per minute. And so I'm thinking, like, okay, well, first of all, you're saying these objects are traveling through outer space, the size of small islands. They're traveling hundreds of millions of miles, the size of small islands. They're on fire because they're moving so quickly, yet they have not burnt out, disintegrated by now. So you have thousands and thousands of these so-called comets, meteors, flying by the Earth, yet none of them collide with planet Earth. I think these are freaking alien spacecraft. They ain't no damn meteors. These are freaking alien spacecrafts doing space travel, going by planet Earth, checking it out. Probably out there eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, looking out the window at planet Earth, getting it on. Otherwise, they would be colliding with planet Earth. These are freaking spacecraft. They're avoiding planet Earth. Thousands and thousands of them, the size of small islands, traveling millions and millions of miles at 150,000 miles per hour. And yet, they're not colliding into planet Earth. This is a story they've been telling us. They've been right there, right in. If you want to hide something, the best place to hide it is in plain sight. Okay? That's why they're making all this bullcrap stuff. It doesn't make sense. You can tell the people anything. They won't question it. They won't do research on it. They're in Dumblesville. They think that if there was anything important to know, that the news, mainstream media would tell them about it. That's what makes them the dumbest people on planet Earth. Hence, that's why everybody's coming over here to take over. Because they know this. Your own government put fluoride in your water to dumb your ass down. Kevin Trudeau was telling you about this back in 2011. And then in 2014, they threw his ass in prison for almost 10 years for telling you this stuff. So David Icke goes on here and he says that, Trump is the deep state, right? He's the gopher for the deep state. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm like, rock on, put the pedal to the floor, keep your foot on the gas to wake these mofos up. So why is David Icke hitting the brakes? Because he knows that it's going too fast now. The people are catching on. They're all going to be exposed. Once they're exposed, he won't be able to sell no more books. There will be no story to talk about. It's going to be a done deal. They already told you. They've been doing research on people to find out what the people will do if it's announced. They wanted to know if the people were going to go into hysteria and go crazy. They're not. They've already done surveys. They already know how the people are going to react. Okay? So that's a red flag. If David Icke is not out here talking about Interstellar #3, he's talking about the orange man is the deep state. He's going to do this with the AI. Wake up, everybody. Wake up about this AI. Right. No. It's about letting him put his foot on the accelerator pedal to wake these people up. He doesn't want them to be woke up. Because when they're woke up, the whole freaking thing's coming unglued. And they're going to be exposed. And then you can't sell no more books. You're just going to be a regular extraterrestrial, like all the rest of them. Right? So think about it. It doesn't add up. He's putting his foot on the brakes now because it's moving so fast and the people are finding out about it. And you got all these other narratives. So go check out this video and let's get to the bottom of this. Because when David Icke wrote about it in 1999 in this book is fact, fiction. If it was lies, he's talking about the most powerful people on planet Earth, and not one of them has taken him to court for libel or slander because they know if they do, the whole freaking thing will be exposed. That they are extraterrestrials, like he's saying in here. But now he's hitting the brakes because it's almost a done deal. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention about these, comets that are supposed to be going by, size of small islands, and they're not crashing into the earth. No, they are avoiding crashing into the earth. Okay? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Okay, so let me see what's going on here. It's taking too long. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. All right, thanks everybody for leaving comments. Do a little research so that you can stay up to speed. And thanks for tuning in. Damn thing doesn't want to turn off because the screen is. I gotta do something about this. Here we go.